Per tutti I miei giorni tu mi curerai e resterai vicino a me. Per tutti I miei giorni la tua fedeltà mi seguirà e mi guiderà. Per tutti I miei giorni tu mi curerai. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Pastor Diana, and the step of today is called three keys to, in my mind, I'm always flipping from Italian to English. I mean, it's just the way it is. So because I wrote all this in Italian, and so my mind just goes flip. Okay, when you come to Italy, your mind will kind of go flip. I'll help you though, maybe, if I can. 3 keys to speed up your healing. That's what it's called. And just 3 simple keys. It won't be a long session. And the first is to accept. Because let's take all the events of our lives, okay? The biggest problem happens when we don't really accept them. For example, I live in this house, and below me there was a lady. Now she changed house. A lady who had a wonderful garden, and she lived there with her husband and 2 kids. And one day, and we really liked the husband as well. We always used to see each other, in the garage, how you exchange greetings and stuff, and you sit there and talk. One day, the father died, and they were sitting at the table, the 2 kids, and the father. He had a heart attack and died. And I tell you, one of the kids was like 10 years old. He died on the spot. There's nothing that they could do. They brought him to the hospital. They called an ambulance, but it was an instantaneous infarto, heart. Anyway, when your heart breaks from a moment to the next. And after time passed, and 2 years passed by, and one day after 2 years, I saw her even before, but one day after 2 years, I asked her, I said, how is your heart? How are you doing? And you know what she answered me? She said, I'm okay. And actually, I don't even feel like my husband died, because she obviously is not a believer. She says, I feel his presence in the house and I talk to him. And I was thinking, this woman has still not accepted the fact that her husband died. You know what I mean? And when she will start accepting that her husband died, there is going to be a lot of pain, because acceptance does bring pain, but it also brings an incredible amount of relief. Incredible amount. And every situation that's happened to you, one of the keys that I want you to take possession of is accept it. Accept the fact that maybe you were born with a disability. Stop fighting against it. Keep on wondering, why was it me, and this ruined my life, and what can I do? We have this famous book in Italy called Joni, and she fell off a horse, and she was totally paralyzed, if I remember correctly her story. I read her book many, many, many years ago. And you know what she did? She accepted what happened to her, and she started painting with her mouth, and it was wonderful. And she wrote books, and she encouraged people, and she did this because she accepted what had happened to her. Or let's talk about Nick Vovich. I mean, he's famous in all the world. He's famous in Italy as well. A book in Italian just came out from, that he wrote. And he's going around encouraging the whole world that you can be without arms and without legs and be okay. And why can he do that? Because he accepted the fact that this so-called tragedy, and I want to put it in like this, a tragedy happened to him, because until he accepted it, there is no way that he could have spoken positive about himself or do something positive about his life. So I want you to relook at your life and be able today, all the things that you have not been able to, swallow, and they're stuck in your esophagus right here, and you're thinking, oh, I don't really accept what happened. I don't accept that death. I don't accept that guy leaving me and abandoning me in our relationship when I was about to marry. I don't accept the fact that maybe I'm not pretty enough, or whatever it is that you do not accept, that it's stuck here. I encourage you to be able to swallow it down and accept it, because with acceptance comes peace. Okay, so that's one key. Another key is, the second key is responsibility. Responsibility. And taking responsibility. What do I mean by taking responsibility for your life? You need to, and we need, and I've had to, go back. Okay, sometimes we just need to change our eyes and make them become from baby eyes to adult eyes, from past eyes to present eyes, because the way we analyze things in our past is not always the same as we would analyze them today. And I'm just going to make an example. When we're little and we go into a house, everything looks so big. Wow, big work of art, amazing. As we grow up, we realize that it's not so big. Okay, I mean, it's beautiful, but it's not so big. I mean, it is kind of big, but you know what I mean? So we have to reanalyze everything, taking our responsibility, okay? Maybe we thought of an event in a certain way, we looked at it in a certain way, we judged it in a certain way, we judged the people in it in a certain way, but we have to go back and be able to say, hey, but what did I do? Because sometimes, let's take friendship. So many times, good friendships break off. And you know what you're going to say? Oh, it's all her fault because she talked bad about me and whatever it is. And maybe, let's take this example. Your best friend spoke really bad about you, and it wasn't fair. You didn't even hear it from that friend. You came to hear about it, and then you broke off the relationship. Actually, just the other day, a friend of mine was telling me that this is exactly what happened to her best friend's relationship when she was about, I don't know, maybe it was 10, 12 years old. She was small, and she was really best friends with this other girl, obviously, and she basically she really confided in her, and then she came to hear from another friend that this best friend of hers was talking about her behind her back. And you know what she did? She completely closed the door to the friendship without even giving any explanation, and walked away. And from a day to the next, she cut off the whole entire relationship. And maybe you think, oh, well, she talked bad about me. So when you're a little child, you think, yeah, well, that relationship just really didn't go well because she spoke bad about me. But can I say something? Now you've grown up. Now you're 25 years old, this is just an example, I want you to look back and to take your responsibility in this breaking off of the relationship. Because you know what? You didn't have to just cut off the relationship and abandon her and break her heart from a day to the next, even if she had spoken bad about you. You could have easily gone to her, which you never did, and say, you know what? I heard this and this and this and this and this and this about me, and I'm cutting off the relationship. Or maybe another choice was, you said this and this and this and this and this about me. I give you a chance to ask me sorry. And I give you a chance to change, because I don't want to lose the relationship. And sometimes we do make silly mistakes, and we need to be forgiven, because if we have another chance, maybe we won't make that silly mistake anymore. And so if all your important relationships are cut off, because maybe you cut them off because she spoke bad, but the other also didn't act well, and whatever else bothered you about the third relationship or the third friendship, you need to take your responsibility. Hey, you know what? Maybe I'm just a little edgy. Maybe I just react too fast, and I am the ruin of my own relationships. Do you know what I mean? So we need to reanalyze. What I want to ask you to do is to reanalyze in the present all the things from the past. To go back on all your important people and to say, well, what did I do to cause this bad thing to happen? And to be real honest with yourself. And when you do notice that you have made a mistake, I would like you to write an SMS, write a letter on Facebook, email the person and say, you know, I was thinking about what happened 10 years ago, and I do want you to know that I have finally taken my responsibility, and I do realize that I had a big part in what happened. And I'm sorry, and maybe we can talk about it, or whatever it is. You know, that's important. That will really quicken it, together with the acceptance. The taking responsibility will really quicken your healing process. And the last thing is I called it personality. Why did I call it personality? Where is it? Here it is. Establish personality. I love this part. And I'm going to start, because I'm going to start with the God example. Because God has such an amazing personality, and He has such an established personality, that He won't bow down to our bad character and to our bad personality to do things against His personality. Let me give you an example. Ezekiel 36:22. It says, "Therefore say to the Israelites, this is what the sovereign Lord says. It is not," listen to this, He was supposed to exterminate. It was one of those times where, I don't remember exactly the context, but God was supposed to do something negative, and look at what He says. "It's not for your sake, people of Israel, that I'm going to do these things, but for the sake of my holy name, which you have profaned among the nations where you have gone." There are many instances in the Bible, other than this Bible passage as well, that actually show God to stand up to His name because of my name, because of what I swore to David, because of what I believe. I will not exterminate you, or I will not do something really negative. What does that mean? It means that He chose, and He has an established personality, and He will not come below His standard. And what I want to ask you, which I know will quicken and will speed up your inner healing, is this: what type of personality do you want to have? What kind of name do you want to be known for? Are you lovable? Are you merciful? Are you patient? Are you kind? All the fruits of the Spirit, Are you, are you a wonderful person? Are you don't lie, you don't steal, you don't cheat, is this the kind of person that you want to be? What kind of person do you want to be? And when you decide what kind of person you want to be, then stick to your personality, because many other people will come with a much lower personality, a lower name than you, and if you're not careful, they will catch you in their game. There's an Italian expression, I love it, and it says, è un gioco fra poveri. It's a game amongst poor people. That's what they say. Which means, when you're an adult, and you start fighting like a little kid. No, well, I gave you my camera and you broke my camera. Now you have to buy back my camera. No, I don't have to buy back your camera because you lent me your camera, but you said that I could keep it. And it's a gioco fra poveri. It's a game amongst poor people, because you lower your standard. And I promised myself, even if other people have a low standard personality, and I pray this, I'm not perfect, but this is my desire. I'm not going to stoop down to their level, and I'm not going to play the poverty game with them. I'm not going to become a child and, you here and I there, and so here and here. And no, if I want to be a spiritual person, you're not going to take me out of my spirituality to be fighting with you in the flesh. It's just not going to happen. And for the sake, like God many times, He says, for the sake of my name, I'm going to do this. Or for the sake of my name, I'm not going to do this. And so it's important that we keep absolutely a high level of personality, an established personality. So I would suggest to you, write down the things that you have not accepted that you want to accept. Write down the responsibilities, and maybe write to the person, acknowledging that you are finally taking your responsibility for events that happen to you also, and that also maybe you caused as well. And thirdly, write down, what type of person do I want to be? What kind of name do I want to have? Because I will stick to what I have chosen. And whatever comes my way, I will not stoop down. But I will keep a standard high and be able to say, okay, I have an established personality, and because of my name, I will not argue and bicker with you. Because of my name, I won't judge you. Because of my name, I won't lose my patience with you. Because of my name, I won't kick you out of my life. Because I would have, but it's just not the way that I want to live. Because I want to be like Jesus. And I want to pray for you today. And God, I pray that you would firmly establish your personality in the person that is listening to me. That you would help them rise up to a level that has your fruits of the Spirit, each one of them, really, who does not keep a record of wrong, and who loves, and who is patient, and who is kind, and the whole 1 Corinthians, things that you wrote on the fruit of the Spirit. I pray, God, that you would help them have your personality and be similar to your name, because you know what? We are called Christians, and God, we want to be Christians. We want to be Christ-like, form Christ in us. And I pray that you would help each person accept what they are and accept what they have. And I pray that you would help each person rise up and take their responsibility and be able to say, like we do in Italy, mia colpa, my blame, my bad, my issue, and be able to even say they're sorry. Humble our hearts, God, so that we can, and so that they can put their life straight. We don't want for our pride to go above our transformation. We want our humility to go before our transformation, because without humility you cannot be transformed. But God, we want to be transformed, and I pray for your power to transform every heart, first of all in a humble heart, and second of all in an amazing heart just like yours. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. Glad to be with you, and I catch you on the next step. Ciao.
Tutti I miei giorni tu mi curerai e resterai vicino a me. Per tutti I miei giorni la tua fedeltà mi seguirà e mi guiderà. Per tutti I miei giorni tu mi curerai. Yeah.